biggest and most storied stadiums, it's time to give it another go at Green Bay's Lambeau Field. Today we've got a battle here in the NFC North. It's the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. Santos after the opening kick. And here we go from Lambeau. And this is Savion Williams on the return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. So the Packers offense getting set for their first drive. And bringing them out now in his 6th year here in the NFL. Brock his 3rd as a starter from Utah State. It's Jordan Love.
What's cool about Jordan's story too, Kate, is he's officially moved beyond the story of how his career began, of sitting and waiting for his opportunity to shine. Now we just get to celebrate all these shining moments, showing off the talent that he's got.
Offense out now to get us started. It's 1st and 10. Love throwing to start us off. Has it to his back. Here's Josh Jacobs. And he's going to be brought down here at the 42. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on the defense.
First down throw. Here's Love. Has him on the quick hitter. And this is going to go as a gain of about 3 before he's met and escorted out.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on the throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
This is 2nd and 6 coming up. From the gun, it's a give to Jacobs. Rolling into enemy territory. And they do get him down, but the damage is done. This gets down inside the 35-yard line. They managed 22 on the rip and a first down.
Packers, first down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
I can assure you of one thing. That carry just brought some extra work in the opening quarter. You couldn't script that run any better.
Running on first here with Jacobs. And have him gain about a handful there. Hit made by T.J. Edwards.
Really good patience right there. It's hard to do for runners in this league because these holes close up so fast. But he was patient, he was explosive, and he got a nice little gain on the ground.
So gain of 5 on that first down. Let's see if they can repeat that performance now here on 2nd. To the air with Love. Taken in by Dobbs. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
Kate, when Bill Walsh was implementing the drag route with the 49ers in the 80s, it sounded the same way as it did with Mike Holmgren and me with the Seahawks in the 2000s versus man on a drag route, run away. You see zone coverage, settle down, give your quarterback his numbers, and you can find a completion just like that.
Handoff here to Jacobs. And he runs this one in. Touchdown, Green Bay. The Packers take a 6-0 lead on their opening drive. It's a Josh Jacobs touchdown. For the offense, you gotta love it, Brock. Points to begin the game as he runs it in for an opening drive touchdown.
And you've got one very happy running back right over there on the sideline right now. These backs, they do feel the pressure to find the end zone every single week. It's not easy to do, but to do it this early and get out of the way, big time.
Extra point try is good by McManus. And the Packers will jump out to a 7-0 lead.
Bears nothing. Brandon McManus.
On now is McManus to kick this away. Devin Duvernay to return it. And decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30. So out come the Bears, ready for their first possession. They'll be led out by last year's #1 overall pick, Brock. Looking to build on his decent debut season here in year 2. It's Caleb Williams.
He's somebody who has made a career of extending and creating plays. I mean, there are oftentimes, Kate, where I just would sit aghast. How did he do that? How does he make that throw on the run? Now he's got to take the spectacular and just add a whole level of consistency.
Now here's DeAndre Swift on the ground. And they make the stop after giving up 6 yards. Good run on first. It's second down.
Cool thing about a drive starting run like that, Kate, is it really just gives you every opportunity in the playbook, whatever you want to do. But as for me, I like to reward that runner. Give it to him again and see if he can get you a new set of downs.
First down run gets him 6. So now it is 2nd and 4. Now Williams finds him over the middle. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. Pick up a 5 on that play, and it'll be first down Bears. I'm not going to call this a must-score drive here in this first quarter, Brock, but when your opponents start the game with 6, it feels like you need some sort of answer.
You need a response, right? You need a response. You don't need all these home runs or big highlights. You just need to keep matriculating that ball down the field.
Throw left side is hauled in by Loveland. And he works it forward to the 43-yard line. That was Micah Parsons making that play.
That's not a big completion on a stat sheet, but that's a big contested, what I call gritty catch right there. And that's what the best tight ends will get you.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Working from the gun, Williams finds the in route complete. They're on him as he gets it up to the 47. That was Xavier McKinney that time with the tackle.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you could take a lick at any time.
3rd and 2, Williams. And even on 3rd down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be 4th down. Well, they connected on 3 straight before that throw, Brock. Might not be perfect anymore on this drive, but they are still moving it well.
And I don't expect that one to interrupt his progress very long. They're still on a mission this series, and he's the one driving it.
They'll run it with Swift. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. Now, that was a big 3-yard gain because instead of a turnover on downs, partner, it gets him a first.
I think sometimes you hear 4th and 2 and it sounds like it's short. But what if I said 4th and 6 feet? That's a little bit more, and it takes a surge just like that to get it done.
This might be a free play for him. Nice catch along the sideline. Awesome body control to stay in bounds there. Oh, but we've got a flag on the play. Easy call for the officials there. He was offsides at the snap, and that's going to cost him.
Still first down.
A bit jumpy across the way there, and that halves the distance ahead of him on first down. They'll run here following the penalty. Oh, he put him in the spin cycle. Off to the races, middle of the field. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Chicago. The Bears finish off their opening drive. DeAndre Swift, the touchdown.
You know, Kate, I think one thing we've clearly learned about the analytics of this game at the NFL level, explosive plays matter. And to get one on the opening series, that has got to feel good for this offense.
Now Cairo Santos on to add the PAT. The point after splits the uprights. And the Bears start off well to tie things 7-7. we've got a tie ball game now as they send this away. Here comes Williams on the return. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line. Packers taking the field now. Their second series of the game coming up. And all that's needed here, Brock, is some repeat execution from that last series. Of course, I expect the defense has made some adjustments after giving up that touchdown.
And that is the beauty of this game we love so much. Those back and forth adjustments on the sidelines. And can this offense do what it did a drive ago? And that is stay one play ahead of their defensive foes.
Green Bay offense to the line now. 1st and 10. Takes the handoff, now Love. Completes this one to Kraft. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down. Now the completion rate is strong, partner. The yards, you got to imagine, will start to come soon enough.
You never go broke taking a profit. And you know this one too, Kate. The crumbs always lead to...
Oh, the cookie. Now I'm hungry. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. These two NFC North teams have played one so far. Scoreboard showing 7s on each side. We'll return to historic Lambeau Field after this. Time for our second quarter. It'll be Packer football to begin. They have it on 2nd and short. Play fake, it's Love. That's going to be an incomplete pass on the throw to the right. No luck finding his receiver that time. And that leaves him with 3rd and short. Well, he'd been perfect to that point on the drive, Brock. First time we've seen this coverage force him into a misstep in a while.
I know you hear me talk all the time, Kate, about the rhythm of an offense, right?
Yeah,
And I look at it through those optics so much. But it's the same thing defensively. You've got to get a stop, see the ball hit the ground to knock them out of that rhythm.
Hits him on the in route. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. They'll say he got 5 there, but Brock, all they care about is the first down that comes with it.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
So fresh set of downs now from the 39. Love now on 1st and 10. He's going to get a hand in there and knock that one away. So 2nd down now after the incompletion.
I know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
So it's 2nd and 10 now. Ball still at that 39-yard line. Back to the air. Love. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
Here they go, getting set for 3rd and 4. Throwing again. Love. Short pass brought in. And he'll be brought down after getting it to the 47-yard line. A 9-yard gain and good for a 1st down.
And the Packers, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 47. Jacobs running behind center. And a nice choice there to send this outside. He gets about 6 yards on the carry. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
2nd down, looking for options. Now setting up the screen for Jacobs. And he's taken out of bounds as he gets it down near the red zone. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And that's good for a Green Bay first down.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
Throw right side, and Dobbs has it. And it's another first down on this drive. Man, this time they're into first and goal.
18 more yards.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted him. They wanted him on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after it.
Working inside the red zone. Brings it in. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1.
Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason. This is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
Need hardly anything here. 2nd and inches. Stick it in the air. Love. Oh, they're on him, and he's dropped again. And quickly, their chances at the end zone are running out, Brock. It's 3rd and goal.
This defense has been trying like mad to do anything to disrupt the rhythm, get the QB off his spot. It's got to be a massive relief to see their efforts paid off on that play.
Now for back at the 7. Here's 3rd and goal. Now, not much scoring to this point as we've reached our 2-minute warning. More football from the frozen tundra of Lambeau coming up. Defense bringing in a 5th DB, 3rd and goal. Love out of the shotgun. And it's incomplete on 3rd and goal.
As I watch practices today, Kate, both college and professionally, one thing is abundantly clear. Teams spend so much more time in the red zone. They know it's the money zone. And defensively, if you can force incompletions and knock it away and leave teams for field goals, you got a great chance to win.
McManus sends it through. And that's going to break our tie and give them a 3-point advantage.
Well, I know once that drive stalls out, that's where it really pays to have that reliable kicker on the sideline ready to bail you out. And he knocks that one right through to give him the lead.
On now is McManus to kick this away. Josh Blackwell to return it. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. Back out comes the Chicago offense for their 2nd drive. Their last drive contained a heavy dose of the ground game, a little old-school dominance on the way to a touchdown, Brock. Let's see if they stick with it or if they go aerial this time around. Bears making their way up to the line. Here comes 1st and 10. Here's Swift to start the drive. And he'll be stopped after just about a yard. 2nd and 9 coming up.
That's the kind of yardage that's not going to kill this drive on the first play, but it does put you a little bit behind schedule. Now 2nd down becomes critical because nobody wants a 3 and out.
They'll come to the line here. 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, here's Williams. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. And it brings up 3rd down.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. To the air on 3rd and long. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. The Packers take their first time out as they'll get together and discuss with 4th down coming up.
And it's 3 and out.
Chicago brings out the punting unit. On the return for the Packers, that's Matthew Golden. Escapes a defender. That's a nice running on that return. He gets it up past the 35. The Packers and Josh Jacobs about set to go on offense. They seem likely to carry the lead into the locker room, but some points here to end the half could make things even more comfortable. A nice starting spot for the Packers here. This is 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Love. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the drive begins with a rough first step there. That's going to bring up 2nd down.
Terrific zone coverage. Wallpaper sideline to sideline. QB's got two options. Wait for a hole to open or tuck it to run. He chose the former, but the pass rush showed up before any throwing lane did.
Expect the defense to be coming again here after that sack. It is 2nd and 16. We motion the tight end over. Love from the gun. Completed over the middle. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. Now timeout taken by Green Bay. That's it, 2nd. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half.
You know, they really love that drag route because he's one of those guys that can count on not only to make the catch, but create after the catch. If they don't close on him quickly, he can add a lot of yards before someone tracks him down.
About set. This is 3rd and 5. Love looking to pass. Got his man. It's Golden. And this is marked down right along that 40-yard line. Timeout taken by the Packers. Their 3rd and final one. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
From the 40-yard line now, this is 1st and 10. To the air with Love. Has him on the quick hitter. And they shove him out. Looks like he got about 6 before they did so. It's 2nd down.
Out of bounds at the 34-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
Once more, it's Love. He gets this one to Wicks. And he's out of bounds right at that 25-yard line. Give him 8 on that one. And it'll give the Packers the 1st.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
Now it's Brandon McManus to attempt this Packers field goal. This 42 yards from the right half. McManus sends it through. And that'll double their lead to 6.
You know that most of these coaches really don't crack that big smile until they get that W with 60 minutes over, but I see a little sly smile on that coach's face because that's terrific execution. You work those situations to pay them off with points. They did just that.
Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. So it goes for a touchback. Let's see what they decide to do with the time they've got remaining here.
At their own 35-yard line.
Probably looking at our final snap of the half here on 1st down. He'll throw it. And all he can do is get back to the line on that effort, so no gain on 1st down. So a one-possession game, Brock, after our first 2 quarters. Now let's throw it over to our pal Scott Hansen. He's got our halftime report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Kate Scott and Brock Heward.
Big thank you to our guy Scott Hansen and the gang down in Orlando. Got a close one here, Brock, as our second half gets underway. On now is McManus to kick this away. Here's Duvernay on the return. And in the end, he's able to get it to about the 25-yard line before he's hauled down. Here comes the offense for the Bears to begin the second half. And as they get set, partner, gotta imagine they're bringing some urgency with them to the field this drive, too.
Yeah, I think you and I both know in calling these NFL games, that sense of urgency can be replaced by full-blown panic in a hurry. So find a way to possess the ball and, more importantly, score some points.
Chicago bringing the offense to the line. It's 1st and 10. Second half starts with a run by Swift. And his effort results in maybe 2 yards, but nothing more.
This offense is now left with some ground to make up a little bit here on second down after that drive starts with a very minimal gain.
Last run got him 3. Here's 2nd and 7. You're going to run here. Kyle Monunga. And he'll be met near the line to limit the gain to a yard. Nate Hobbs in on that stop.
He's tackled at the 29-yard line. A 1-yard gain brings up 3rd and 6.
6 yards to go here. It's 3rd down. They'll air it out on 3rd. Coverage holds up, and he just had to get rid of it. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And it's 4th down.
There's not a quarterback alive that enjoys throwing it away on 3rd down. But that's a good case right there of live to play another day. Live to play another series, and don't put the ball in harm's way.
He fields this at the 18. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. Now here comes the Green Bay offense. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. Packers getting set here. 1st and 10. Putting a receiver in motion. Play action. Love. Connects on the crosser. And they're all the way across midfield before he's brought down. A gain of 26 yards there. And that's good for a Green Bay 1st down.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
One play in, Brock, and this drive is already into enemy territory. 1st down throw. Here's Love. To the left, that's pulled in by Gxlden. And he's going to be stopped, but not before he gets him all the way down to that 15-yard line. How about a big hitter? 30, 40 yards there and a new set of downs.
That's another Packers 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Speed kills, baby. You better make that tackle right away on these receivers or you're going to get some serious yak. Those yards after catch just like that. Taking a short gain and turning it into an explosive play.
From the red zone now. Touchdown, Green Bay. The Packers push their lead further to start the half. Well, and a close game. They needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this two-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
Matt LaFleur with faith in his offense. They're set to try for two.
The Packers will set up for the two-point conversion.
They want to run it across, and he isn't able to get in here. That lead's going to stay right where it is.
Defense did their homework on that one. They were keyed in from the start. They knew exactly who the offense was going to lean on to try to go for two there.
On now is McManus to kick this away. Blackwell now to return it. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Bears offense now heads back out to the field. Bears making their way up to the line. Here comes 1st and 10. This drive's going to begin with a run by Swift. And this one breaks beautifully as they're going to get it forward to their own 45. Give him an 18-yard pickup there. And that'll be 1st down Chicago.
Well, more often than not, it's the passing game that's asked to go from 1st down to 1st down in just one play. Get that big play potential on the ground. Jeez, it just infuses your offense with confidence.
1st down, Williams. Finds him over the middle. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field.
Well, the odds aren't great when you throw into double coverage. Normally you see one of the defenders make a play on the ball. 2 men nearby, and that's a missed opportunity for the coverage to make an impact play.
Offense is set. This is 2nd and 2. Off the play fake, Williams. The left side is hauled in by Loveland. And he goes out a little short of the 40. He gets 6 on that play. And it'll be 1st down Bears.
Look up contested catch in the football dictionary, and you'll see that. I mean, I can't critique the defense there. They're in the hip pocket of that tight end. But these contested catches, these tight ends that can separate with their hands, utilize their body, even when you're covered, you're not.
And he sneaks this through the middle, maybe a gain of 2.
Okay, a 2-yard run on 1st down, I think that keeps you ahead of schedule. You're going to have to pick up the pace.
At the Packers' 38-yard line.
Need a better result than that last run. It's 2nd and 8. A draw now. This is Swift. Ran into a wall that time. Couple of guys able to hold him right at the line of scrimmage. So 3rd down now.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
It's 3rd and 8. Need to get a chunk here. They'll throw. 3rd and long. Has his man caught by Odunze. And this play's nearly going to reach that 25-yard line. Defender there to take him out just short of it. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down.
They've run this 12-yard out route, Kate, at the combine, well, all the way back to last century when I had to throw it. In this throw, this is a big boy throw. This is a differentiator. Can you make that deep out throw on time, on rhythm, and accurately? Well, that was teaching tape right there.
He gets a couple on first, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the
If there's ever a play we could call garden variety in the NFL, I think we just saw it right there. That's an uneventful run and a pretty sound stop there defensively.
Following that little 2-yard run, it's 2nd and 8. Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete.
Yikes, as that pass falls to the ground, Kit, you kind of just sense their desperation, just kind of oozing out of them. Running out of time to start connecting on more of these and really break open the scoring in a way they just have not been able to do so far.
9th play of the drive coming up. They need 8 yards here on 3rd down. Throw here, 3rd down. Throw right side, hauled in by Komet. And that is a great stop to deny him the marker. It's going to be 4th down.
A gain of 6 yards. It's 4th down.
So we're through 3 here. The Bears have the ball, and they're going to need to score. They come in trailing. They're going to go for it here, trailing in the 4th. Here he goes. Got to have this on 4th down. That one's nabbed by Komet. And they come through to stay on the field. That is enough to set this offense up with a 1st and goal.
As a quarterback, you just know in that situation when you go for it on 4th down, it may mean sometimes throwing in the double coverage. But if you're going to go for it, at least give your guy a shot to make a play. And against really long odds, he came up with a big-time catch.
To the air yet again, Williams. That throw finds Komet. And he maybe got back to the line there, but no further.
Hey, I know it's tough to evaluate when you're playing at game speed when there's chaos all around you. But if he looked around, I'm not sure that's a throw he would make again. Even one of the biggest targets, big old tight end, couldn't fight back to the line of scrimmage.
Again, it's Williams. Has it down close. And in for the Chicago touchdown. The Bears now within 1 score in the 4th. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
Santos now for the extra point. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Bears trim the deficit down to 5.
19. Bears 14.
So after making this a 5-point ball game, they kick it off. Brooks now on the return. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line. The Packers and Jordan Love set to take over again. And he has continued to own this defense and keep on throwing that football, partner, making this performance one that he's going to remember, but as you like to say, the defense would probably rather forget. Green Bay offense to the line now. 1st and 10. Love out of the shotgun. Left side into the hands of Dobbs. And he's sent out right after he makes that catch at the 40-yard line. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
On 1st and 10, here's Love. Quick slant into the hands of Gxlden. And they're approaching midfield with that gain of 6. He's up to the 46.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for in 1st down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
2nd and 3 now. Now Love on the play fake. They did it! He made the interception! And the Bears have some new life in the 4th.
That's just a bad decision, frankly. And really, as a quarterback in this moment of the game, you got to know it's not a time to take a risk. Cannot be throwing out life preservers and giving that other team, your opponent, a chance like he just did.
Here come the Bears back out on offense. They'll try to emphasize what worked on their last drive, which ended, Brock, in a touchdown. The Bears with some nice field position as they get set. 1st and 10. Drive starts with a quick throw left, complete. And he's going to be driven out, but a nice pickup. Gained about 8, 2nd down.
That is a textbook 1st down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Running behind center with Swift. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
Hey, I know the temptation is there. If I'm thinking in the booth, I know that play caller is too. That could have been a chance to be aggressive. Not the case. Go get the 1st down like they did, and a new set of downs to work with.
Football's on the 48. Here we go. 1st down. Going to run again with Swift. He is taken down as he drives this to the enemy 40. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
That's another Bears 1st down. A gain of 12.
That's pretty good right there now. You don't always expect a sizable gain when you're running on 1st down. You just want some yards to set up an easier 2nd down play. But they will take that execution every time.
We'll call this a modest gain here, Brock. About 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign that they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
At the 36-yard line.
They'll come up after that 40-yard gain. It's 2nd and 6. Staying grounded with Swift. And he's not going to get the first. He made it real close, though, didn't he, Brock? It's a gain of 5. 3rd down coming up.
At the 30-yard line. That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 1.
So we're down to the 2-minute warning here from Green Bay. Bears trailing by 5. 3rd down, 1 yard to go. Toss play, Swift. And this one had no chance. Hit well behind that line. That brings up 4th down.
It's results like that that drive coordinators nuts. Premature balding, gray, wrinkles, all of it, Kate. You call something conservative. The last thing you're thinking is you're going to lose yards on a 3rd and 1 run.
Their hand is forced here. They've got to get this. They're down 5. Desperation time here. Throw caught by his running back. And they bring him down after the play reaches the 26. The Bears decide to call their first timeout. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting the first.
Kate, I can promise you, you go back and look at the most efficient offenses in the NFL over the last couple decades, one thing will resonate. You've got to be able to attack the middle of the field. It's great to do it with receivers. It's awesome with tight ends. But when you get that influence from your running backs, man, you become a dangerous offense to stop.
That one's incomplete over the middle.
That just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted, even on some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
Inside 90 seconds to play. Here's 2nd and 10. Now an inside handoff to Swift. And this is going to get them all the way to the red zone. He's taken down at the 13-yard line. Give him 13 on that play. And that'll be first down, Chicago.
That result right there is why coaches all across all levels of football on defense talk about good, solid tackling, Kate. It's not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when you can bring a guy down, you're able to, and keep them from piling on those yards.
Throw is caught, and they shove him out. Looks like he got about 6 before they did so. It's 2nd down.
There's no routes on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believing your guy can get there.
2nd and 3 now. He'll look to throw it. And that's incomplete, but he might have done a little too much to cause that. Flag comes out, and this could be interference. Well, the pass interference might have prevented the touchdown there, but it gives this offense the yards and a great chance to punch it in anyway. Swift takes this the wrong way. That's a loss all the way back to the 5. Timeout Chicago. It uses its seconds. And they're still going to have one left at their disposal.
At the 5-yard line.
After the loss, it's 2nd and goal from the 5. Back to throw. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything. They just did.
They set up the screen here to Swift. And he will score and give them the lead in the final minute.
Touchdown, Chicago.
So what a finish this is shaping up to be. The late touchdown here, Brock, moves them in front.
And week to week, what a pleasure it is for us to call these games. We never know what kind of game we're going to get. This one's been everything you could have wanted. And now, even though they've taken the lead, there's still enough time on that other sideline for them to go mount a response.
He's almost there, but no, they stop him at the last moment. He's going to be just inches shy of that 2-point conversion. Santos has it all teed up and ready to send this away. Brooks now on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Packers and Gxlden ready to take over once again on offense. And this pressure has been playing volleyball in this 4th quarter, partner. That touchdown just serves it over their way. Now they need a touchdown to return serve, put it back on the other sideline.
Yeah, I like what you did there, and I'll keep the analogy going. We're in the final set, and it almost feels now like a must-score drive.
All right, working from the gun to start. 1st and 10. Setting up to pass. Hits him on the out route. And he's going to go out of bounds. Looks a little short of the 35.
Kate, if there was one throw in the game plan that kept me up at night more than any other, it was an out route versus zone coverage. Because you got to throw it with anticipation, but you also got to make sure those defenders' eyes aren't reading you like a book.
Here he is to throw. Has him on the quick hitter. And in a blink, they are off to midfield before somebody manages to stop him. The Packers take their first time out. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
In quite the time crunch here, Brock, but still 2 timeouts to burn. It's first down. Love from the gun. Has it downfield, working the left. And he's going to have this one down to the 28. Now timeout taken by Green Bay. That's its second. And they're still going to have 1 left at their disposal.
Why in the heck do you need 2 or 3 plays when you can get it done in one effective call right there? Go from first down to first down, exactly the tempo offenses love.
Offense to the line for first down, conscious of that single timeout they've got remaining. Sticking in the air, Love. Brought in by his back, it's Jacobs. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line. Timeout taken by the Packers, their 3rd and final one. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least.
I know that completion doesn't move the chains. I love it nonetheless. You make sure that defense is aware of every eligible player going out. And this time it was out of the backfield with the running back that shows he's adept at catching it as well.
35-yard attempt.
That one is good! And they're going to take the lead inside the final minute.
I know that was a kick he could make in his sleep, but with the game on the line, he delivered.
On now is McManus to kick this away. He's going to return it from a yard or 2 deep. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. First and 10. Working from the gun, Williams. Short pass brought in. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down. Now a timeout, and there may be time for 2 plays here, Brock, but a quick short one does them no good. They got to go for broke here.
At the 30-yard line.
Just a yard left to go on second down. To throw, Williams. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And it'll be third down coming up after this defense's 3rd sack of the game. So this is a Packers win. And there was no easing up. It took some white knuckling until the very end, but their defense carried that small lead through to the finish line as they escape with a victory. So for Brock Heward and all of our crew, I'm Kate Scott, wrapping up another edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The Packers are your winners as we say so long from Green Bay.